Guys, I am just working on a wreath for fall. I'm hoping to make it a Halloween into Thanksgiving wreath that I can kind of just change the ribbon and it'll work for both. But you may have seen it. It's on Pinterest. It's been all the rage, all over all the blogs and everything. But it's a rag wreath. So you just take strips of any fabric, tie it together into a knot, and it ends up being a whole wreath, or you can make it into a whole wreath. I actually started with the styrofoam form. I had gotten it at Joann's, and I didn't like it. Just wasn't full like I wanted, like I had seen online. So I did some research and found that they have these wonderful things. This is a 4-wire, but I think they sell them in 2s and 3s. You would have to just Google that. But I got mine from a place, I think it's called Mardi Gras Supply or something. I just Googled wire wreath form, and this is what I got. So I needed a 4-wire, so I got a 4-wire in a 16-inch round. I don't have a huge front door, so I didn't want it to be gigantic, but I wanted it to be full and big. But they go up to like 20-something inches. So if you had a nice big front door, it'd be really pretty to do a really big one. Or if you have a double French front door, then I'm really jealous of you, but it would be cute to do 2 of them on the front door. I just have 1 door, so we're gonna just adorn it with 1. So this is what I've been working on, and it's really full like I've been wanting. So, but I'll tell you how I got there. I started with the fabric, and I just kept it folded in half, like so. Excuse my hair. So I just would cut about 1 inch. Mine ended up being a little bit bigger than 1 inch, but I think 1 inch is the easiest to tie once you're tying them on. So I just cut like 1 inch, and be careful because burlap gets all over everything. It's like killing me. I think it's all like in my lungs, seriously, because I did not take precautions. But I'm doing it where there's a tile floor, which helps to sweep up. Anyway, so this is the strip you would get, and then I would just cut it in half, and then I'll show you how to do both of them. I do some in thirds because some strips I single tie. So that's about 1/3. That's about 1/3. And then some I want to double tie, or double knot, so I make that one into halves, just depending. I was doing them all double knotted at first, and 1, they were ending up way too long, and 2, I was running out of fabric. So I'm alternating every few. I do double, every few I do single. So there's 4 wires. I know I've said that 1,000 times. But I've been going section by section. You can see they're sectioned off, so I do each one at a time, all 4 wires, starting at the bottom. So I've already done the whole bottom on this one, and I'm working on the second one. I'm on the second piece. So I'm doing some single knots. So I just slip them through to the front, and then just knot it like you would, a shoelace. My children are playing with Play-Doh right now. I had to like quickly give them something to do. It's the story of my life. So anyways, after you tie it, you slide it all the way over. I'm going to do a double knot now. It really is pretty easy. Like I said, the burlap does get on everything, and it's a dog. It's like all over my printer. It's all over everything back here. So anyways, there's a double knot, and like I said, I don't think that the double knots are really necessary, but that's just how I started it. So, but because burlap has so much texture that I think the 1 knot will last. But I did some doubles just to be sure, because I would hate for this wreath to fall apart. So just move that over, and you just keep going the whole way. Double knotting, single knotting, or you can choose one or the other and go the whole way. So anyways, you just do it, and so you finish 1, scooting them all the way over, and as you get to the edge, I would like push over and make it pretty tight, make them pretty tight all in there together. You can have some space, like see here's that has some wiggle room, because once it starts all getting full, you can't really tell that it's not like compacted, So, so then after I finished 1, I would go to 2, and then 3, and then 4. And then as I'm finishing, I'm able to kind of see where it needs to be trimmed. There's some pieces that are longer, so I'll trim off some of it. But more or less, it pretty much, like this one's sticking out, so I would trim that one a little bit. But that can be kind of at the end whenever you're done. You don't have to do that as you go. So, so this is where I'm at, and it sounds like it's time for me to go handle that. So I will come back with version 2, or episode 2, and show you. Gotta go. Okay, Well, I'm back. The crisis was averted yesterday, so all is good. They're back to being friends again. Anyways, I just wanted to show you the finished product. I finished it last night. Total, it probably took a little over 2 hours, maybe right at 2 hours, something like that. But it was the most like mindless, you know, some crafts can take a long time because you have to be tedious and, you know, detail oriented. This is like, you throw them on there and you're done. So it was a mindless sort of DIY thing. So I sat in front of my TV, put on all my Thursday night shows, and finished tying as we were doing it. Again, the burlap is very, very, very messy. So I was covered in it, literally. It was all over me, all over the floor. So you have to give a good vacuum if you do sit in front of your TV, but it's worth it. So anyways, this is the final product, and I'm so happy with it. It came out very full, exactly like I was wanting and looking for. So I was excited about that, and I just tied it off with a thick, I'm guessing 2-inch black grosgrain ribbon. I saw a velvet or faux velvet, I don't know, it may have been real, at Joann's, but it was like $5.99 a yard. And I like to have a little extra ribbon in case I want to, you know, I mess up or I cut more. Like I usually use a whole roll. I mean, I had cut one piece already too small. The bow wasn't big enough because I'm a trial and error kind of person instead of measuring out, making sure it's good. Anyhow, so I didn't want to waste a velvet ribbon on, you know, this. So I used a grosgrain. I really like it, but a velvet would be really pretty too. I put it on the top for now. I may move it to the side. I like the look of that, like when other people do it, but when I do it, it always looks really strange. I'm such a symmetrical person that it's really hard for me. It kind of throws me off if I do it on the sides. So anyways, that's the finished product. Here is the back. You just kind of have to turn around the sides, but you can see all of the knots, the many, 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 many knots that go into it. I needed to say too, in the last segment or video, I said that I got 5 yards of fabric and I only used 3 yards. So that was really good. So don't buy 5 yards, only buy 3 yards. I used almost exactly 3 yards. This is what I had left of my 3 yards. So 2 3/4 is probably going to get the job done, but that was about 1-inch strips at 3 yards, 1-inch strips, and it filled the whole 16-inch. And the other thing, I was going to say, I did find this gray and white polka dot grosgrain ribbon, but I wanted it to be thicker. I tried this first and it just didn't look right. It was too small. I really wish it would have worked though, because I really like the gray. And speaking of, I saw on Pinterest also a gray grosgrain a wreath done just like this, but with ribbon. It was so pretty, but grosgrain ribbon can get kind of expensive. So if you buy it in bulk, like online, I'm sure that would work. But this was like a few bucks for, you know, I don't know, a few yards. It would take a lot of ribbon to be able to do it, but it looked so cute. I loved it. Anyway, so this is my finished product. I hung it on my door, and I'll show you pictures of it. I took some pictures. But it's an easy project. I would say anyone can do this, literally. It is so easy. It's just cutting and tying. So your fingers may get a little bit raw because it can get kind of rough on your fingers, but it's totally worth it, and it's not that bad. So anyways, hope you enjoy it. Hope you try it yourself because it is a super easy project. And I think that's all. Peace out. Go Rangers.